we go. Welcome back. It's the Aces NFL show. Sipp's back in town. Jeez, you're a hard man to catch. He's coaching at the Hawks.
I'm a busy man,
He's the number one man when it comes to NFL. Oh, it's good to see you. We are 30 days or so out of the greatest game of all time, and there's a lot to talk about. And
There's a fair bit.
We're going to talk about the player movement, the player trades, and all the free agency, just to update everyone. Everyone's, I must say, we had so many people reach out on Instagram when we put up a quote graphic and saying, what questions do you want? And they all just said, give us everything you've got with fantasy and all your best bets heading into the season. So we won't do the bets until a couple of weeks out.
I reckon, yep.
But, mate, it's really good to see you.
Mate, it's good to see you too. You've been quite active.
Yeah, it comes to NFL.
I'm a hard man to reach.
Yeah, well, mate,
you've been on the go, pal.
When it comes to NFL, I'm ready to go. This is my number one.
You are ready to go.
So just to give everyone an update, again, I'm just going to tell you. So we're going to go over all the player movement, and we'll talk about everything else around it.
Yep.
Like, we know that there's been, 8 assistants just from Detroit Lions. So we'll talk about it, but this is all about the players. Yep. And we're going to go through the AFC, and then we're going to go through the NFC. So just shaping that up. And we're going to start with the AFC, and I think we're going to get straight into it because there's no point wasting any time.
I like it.
We're going to talk about the main players and the new players at each club. And we'll start with the Bills, mate. And I'd love you to talk to me about who stands out for you in the AFC East. That's the Buffalo Bills we'll start with. Who's the players that have just popped up and just surprised you?
Well, defensively, straight away, I'm going to go with, and it's Joe Bosa. Like, massive pickup on the D-line there. Von Miller they had last year, not quite the same that they got out of him, missed a few games. Not quite the same person, but Joe Bosa is a massive upgrade for them. If he can stay healthy, that D-line looks extremely dangerous. We know that McDermott's an animal on the defensive side of the game. You know what you got on the offensive side of the ball, and he adds some genuine firepower on the D-line there, and they could be getting after the quarterback big time this year. So Joe Bosa there is a massive one on the defensive side for sure.
Funny, they only signed him for a 1 year on the edge there. $12.6 million deal it was, and $12 million guaranteed.
May as well just give him the extra 600 there, but whatever.
I know. It's like, but it's got a max value of 15. So they've said, come in, big boy, and stay healthy. I think he's a little bit injured at the moment, but. The other things that stood out was Elijah Moore. I was just having a laugh with you. It's only a little deal, 1 year of $5 million, but he's someone that I've really liked. He was touted early at the Jets.
He comes in well with Mac Hollins as well. Like, Mac Hollins is the one that's left, so he's gone to the Patriots, and he's probably the guy that kind of takes over that position now. So, in my opinion, it's a little bit of an upgrade. I think there's a little more speed. He's got a couple more roles that he can perform on the offensive side. So I think Elijah Moore would be a sneaky little pickup, and if we're talking about drafting that a little bit as we will extensive later on, but he could be a sneaky one later in the round because Josh Allen definitely tries to find his guys in that position, that's for sure.
Also, Josh Palmer from the Chargers. He's someone that I've always liked, and they've signed him on a 3-year, $36 million contract. That's $18 million guaranteed. Follow the money, Sipp. Follow the money. I reckon he's going to be, him and Coleman out wide, but look out for those two. Josh Allen, as we know, MVP, quarterback.
Yep.
Let's keep moving. If we do lean a bit offensive, take that with a grain of salt because we are talking fantasy later on. We obviously love our defensive players. Hey, we've got the Roquan Smith behind me, baby.
Hey, defense is part of fantasy too. Defense is part of fantasy as well.
We're going to talk about more offense, I think, on this program. Let's go to Miami Dolphins. Jeez, haven't they had a stinker with their bloody secondary?
I don't think they have anyone left on defense, actually, which is quite funny to think about. But
hey, let's talk offense.
Interesting.
Let's talk offense.
I think offensively, a couple of guys kind of stand out now. Alexander Madison, he's the guy that was at the Raiders last year. He could help a little bit as the number 2 guy behind A-Chain, of course. And then the other one for me that kind of stood out was obviously Darren Waller. How about him just popping up out of nowhere? He's had enough of the Giants. He's gone, you guys, and now he's popped up out of nowhere and he's joined Miami. So it's an interesting one to how that's all kind of panned out. But I mean, if he can get going and be pretty healthy, Tua's got another weapon there, which is going to be big for him, and we know what they've got on the offensive side of the ball. We know what they've got. He adds an extra bit of firepower if he gets right. It could be really, really dangerous for him, but he's the one guy that definitely stands out for me right now that could make a huge impact for the Dolphins.
Geez, you'd be flat if you're a Giant. We'll talk about the Giants a lot this year because Sipp hates them. We obviously going to talk.
They will not win a game.
They lost Jonnu Smith, so it's a bit of a. Well, let's watch this space. Obviously, Darren's been out of the game for a while, but The other one is Westbrook Akine.
Yeah.
He was the touchdown machine at the Titans, and they were playing, they were always losing. So
he had a crazy stat last year, like 20 receptions, but 8 touchdowns. It's mind-blowing.
Crazy.
So Tua likes throwing a deep ball. Maybe it's another threat for him as well. We know what that they've got with Hill and Waddle. So if they can add that, that'd be pretty important to them. They're going to have to score 35 points a game with the way their defense is anyway. So we'll see how it happens there.
Minkah Fitzpatrick obviously acquired with the Steelers trade where they lost Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. We'll talk about that. But the other one that I like is the MILF Hunter. He's left Denver. We obviously, you got to remember how early this guy was picked up.
Yep.
We've seen blokes like Darnold, they've got going later in their career.
They have.
I think it's a great backup for Tua. With all those concussion issues, if he goes down, you prefer Zach Wilson to come in. He can somewhat sling it, but Miami's had a mare when they've had backups in the past. So I like
he
that.
Might enjoy it too much over there.
Let's keep moving. New England Patriots. This is a big one. I'm going to start us off, and it's Stephon Diggs. And it's more the quote graphics and all these things I'm seeing from camp on my social media about how they've never seen a receiver like him, which is a pretty big call. They've had some guns out of that place. So Stephon Diggs on a 3-year, $69 million deal. He obviously had a little bit of trouble in the offseason, just passing around
doing what
something.
He needs to do, mate. Doing what he needs to do, eh?
Yeah, right. Wrong place, wrong time. What do they say? Yeah, anyway. Stephon Diggs, all eyes on him, and
big time.
He's moving well.
Big acquisition, so that's important
That's
for
the
them.
one that stands. Anything else for you?
Austin Hooper's the other one in the tight end position there. Like, I know it's not a big deal, 1 year, $5 million, but the Patriots love their tight ends, and I think he can be a very good acquisition for him. I spoke about Mac Hollins there on the offensive side too. He had a pretty decent year last year for the Bills. Got awarded with a 2-year, $8.4 million deal there. So they've picked up a couple of key guys there on the offensive side, that's for sure. But defensively, Carlton Davis, 3-year deals, $60 million. He's come over from Detroit, had a really good season last year there. He's very important. And the other one there is Milton Williams, who is a huge signing for him defensively. Big D lineman, won the Super Bowl last year with the Eagles. And he signed a 4-year, $104 million deal. So they definitely tried to upgrade and get the guys around him. Mike Vrabel's obviously the new head coach there, which I think is a great addition for them. He has great success in Tennessee, and he's a Patriot man through and through as well. So I expect to see some real improvement from the Patriots this year. With what they've added there, their firepower, I really expect them to be able to kind of challenge a little more going into this season. So there are a couple of things I'm looking forward to.
Really well said, mate. And you mentioned Mac Hollins earlier, but he was awesome for the Bills. And, he snags his 2-year, $8.4 million deal. But he's someone that I think will add value in that locker room. They're going to be exciting to watch.
They are.
Let's go to the Jets. They ruined me all last year. What I've observed is they've kind of paid their guys. They have, which is great. I like seeing
people keep your core.
Yep. So Garrett Wilson, he's agreed to his 4-year, $130 million extension, which is massive.
Yep.
And then obviously you go to the defensive side of things, and Sauce Gardner signed an absolute monster 4-year, $120.4 million deal. But let's go to the quarterback scenario. We know that Aaron Rodgers has left and he's gone to the Steelers. We'll talk about your man later because he ain't my man. He ain't my man anymore. I'm going to be punting with PointsBet against Aaron all year. I don't care how good the Steelers have done in trade in free agency. I can't wait to see what that fossil can do. But QB at the Jets.
Justin Fields.
2-year, $40 million deal, 30 guaranteed. New head coach, remember? Defensive coordinator from the Detroit Lions, so a hard-nosed pro. And I'm looking forward to seeing what goes here. What do you think with Justin Fields? He's been one of those players that he can do some great things, but he can really frustrate you as well.
It's just hard to be able to get a gauge on him, isn't it? Like he's got some serious talent and arm strength, ability to be able to get out of the pocket, use his legs, but I don't know. It's a big question mark ultimately. I mean, I don't think they've obviously paid too much for him in the grand scheme of things. Like 2-year, $40 million is obviously not a lot of money in the quarterback market, and if they get something out of him, then it's obviously a huge win for the Jets. But just not sure yet. He's obviously got a big weapon in Wilson. He was with him at Ohio State, so maybe that helps as well in terms of chemistry and that straight away, which could be really good. But it's just definitely a bit of a question mark right now. But you can get a little bit out of him there. I could definitely see some potential there. That's for sure.
Well said. Let's keep moving. That's going to be all we've got in our AFC East. We keep moving. Geez, we're moving at pace here, but that's because we want everyone to know there's 32 teams. We're going to get through all of them. AFC North, it's my time to shine here with the Ravens. There's been a little bit of movement.
It's boom or bust this year for the Ravens. Just on a side note.
I don't think so. We've got every weapon you need. We have the best secondary on defense. We've probably got the best defense as well. I think our offense is stacked. Yep. I didn't like Likely going down yesterday with a foot. We'll
see how that goes. Hopefully not long term.
But the main one for me is DeAndre Hopkins signs a 1 year, $5 million contract. He'll be a nice little threat there in the red zone.
Yep.
Everything else is kind of just get going. Bateman got rewarded with a 3-year extension, 36 mil. Probably, he had a bit of a breakout year last year. Like you see these numbers and go, maybe you could get more, but that's great. Just keep yourself in the spot. And Derrick Henry gets rewarded with a 2-year, $30 million extension.
No, it's good.
What he's doing. But there's not much else to talk about except for the cornerback that used to play with Lamar. I reckon. Right. Do you want to talk about
Alexander? Well, I mean, he's obviously a special talent. Like he's locked up.
It's the best pickup for the price.
He's locked up guys in the past. Like he's had JJ's number when he's been on Green Bay, like giving him some serious trouble. And if you sign him for a 1-year deal, $4 million, and another $2 million incentives.
It's the greatest free agency move of all summer.
I cannot believe the Baltimore Ravens have been able to do that because that guy, when he stays out on the park, is seriously talented and just gets like under the skin of the guy that he's playing on. And we know what the AFC North has in terms of wide receivers. And the fact that they've been able to get that guy is pretty darn impressive. So I'm looking forward to that.
Does he go to Jamar Chase?
100%. And he goes to DK, and he locks them both up as much as he possibly can. I get with Chase it's going to be a hard task, but they've got him for that reason because they know Baltimore Ravens know what they've got there and who they're competing with, and it's a great pickup.
I love it. It's getting me excited. Well, let's keep moving. I could sit here and talk about the Ravens all day.
Moving on.
A big shout out to our man, Roquan Smith. If you haven't seen that, Tommy talks with Roquan when he was in town. Got his sign. He signed the jersey behind us, the ausmericanaces jersey there. We'll hang that up all year. Hopefully head over there and watch a game live. Sipp. Let's go to the Bengals. Cincinnati. What have they done in the free agency period?
They haven't really done too much, to be honest. BJ Hill here for 3-year, $30 million deal there. So another D lineman there that they probably need. The big one that really is Hendrickson, and he's he's the one that's obviously being talked about right now in terms of will he sign, what's going to happen there. So that's a bit of a watch this space guy there. So it's tough, but in terms of big additions, I haven't really added anybody. They've just made sure that they've got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins locked away. Huge deals there. 4-year, $161 million extension for Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins got a 4-year, $115 million deal. And we know what they can do on the offensive side of the ball. I think they were number 2 in the league last year in terms of points scored. The only other team to kind of score more were the Detroit Lions. So we know that they've got some serious firepower there. Just can they do it on the defensive side? And I think they've picked up a couple of guys to help with that. But ultimately, they haven't really gone out and done anything too crazy in terms of their pickups this year.
Well said. Well, the main thing is, I know we're talking about all the new faces and new places, but in this case, it's re-signing Higgins and Chase. That's what they've done, signing a 4-year deal with Chase for $161 million. And then T. Higgins, he signs a 4-year deal for $115 million.
Big time.
They're putting all their money on that offensive side of the ball. And we know how good they were last year. It was just their defense. So hopefully there's enough money to spread on that defense. There's a few players they've picked up there you can have a look at. But, exciting. And you'd think, we won't go too early with our predictions, but the Bengals and the Ravens are going to be right up there, and the other two we'll have a talk about now. Let's go to the Browns. Not a lot to talk about when you're talking about the Browns. They obviously drafted 15 quarterbacks, mate. So they'll be in our NFL draft recap and all the young stars that we can look at for another time. But in terms of someone that stands out, I want to have a quick laugh here with the Browns. But Deontay Johnson, how does Deontay Johnson land at the Browns?
How did I know?
I mean, if there's a club that wants to pick up someone that's been cut from 5 clubs last year, how does Deontay Johnson get picked up? It's amazing. That's the one that stands out. Kenny Pickett. Joe Flacco. I mean, they've gone crazy on
They've
offense.
just tried to do what they can now. They're trying to get quick fixes here, and it's quite funny to watch. So
let's keep moving. They stink. If you go for the Browns, I'm sorry. They've got one good player, Myles Garrett, and that's about it.
That has not taken long at all. I'm excited by that.
All right, Pittsburgh
This
Steelers.
one's a big one though. Like the Steelers here, they have we know, but they've gone out pretty hard this year. It's a big year for them. None other than obviously Aaron Rodgers. 1 year, 13.65, pretty handy considering the Jets spent 100 on him. So it's pretty funny stuff there. But it's all about what he's going to be able to do. 41 years old or 42 years old now. We know his history. Has he still got it? Has he got a little bit left in him to be able to provide enough? That is going to be the watch this space kind of stuff going into the year. But they've tried to get the guys around him. They have picked up DK Metcalf, traded for him from the Seahawks, gave him a 5-year deal, $150 million. And then they've got Robert Woods in there as well, little Scotty Miller, who's been around a little bit with Tampa, Jonnu Smith as well at the tight end position. Like they've gone all out on the offensive side here to give themselves a red hot shot.
Well, they haven't
you
just
know
gone.
What they do on defense.
Well, they've gone hard on
offense?
defense as well, Sipp. We can't just.
Well, they have, haven't they? They know what we're going to get from them on defense. They'll keep adding guys to it. They've got Darius Slay. They've picked up Jalen Ramsey. Like huge additions on the corner there position. But the offensive side, we know that they've struggled with in the past. Yes, it could be the quarterback that they've had in the past and everything like that. We understand that, but they've gone out and gone. I'm assuming this is our crack. We need to make something of it. We know what we've got against us in the division alone. It's time that our offense plays catch up with our defense, and we'll see what happens. So there's a lot of chemistry that needs to go to work pretty quickly. That's 4 guys straight away coming in that are going to be super important parts to this offense. Are they going to be able to deliver? We'll wait and see.
George Pickens out hurts though.
Well, it does.
I know DK comes in.
DK comes in.
Pickens out.
And Woods maybe, I'm not sure. But you're right. Losing Pickens, but Pickens is a extreme hothead.
I know that.
We know Mike Tomlin was only going to be able to deal with it for so long. He's a no bullshit type of man. I'm surprised he dealt with it for this long. Maybe it's better for the team that someone like that is just not interrupting anything and it's all systems go.
Yeah, well said. Well, it's a watch this space.
It is.
I really like Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
I feel like he's been shopped around a lot, but when he's used, he's an absolute weapon.
He is a weapon.
We're going to get to all our predictions later in the year.
Yeah. I so want to just get involved with it straight away right now.
Well, with training camp,
but it's good.
With training camp starting,
100%.
You've been there. There's a lot of injuries that happen.
There's a lot. There's a ton, and there's some talent out there that have actually have gone down already, and it's. That's the part. You need to obviously play the waiting game a little bit with that stuff and see what depth they have when it gets closer to those games because there are some significant injuries out there right now that are going to affect teams big time.
There certainly will be. I don't want to talk too negative, but the Browns' first round pick, the running back there, I don't want to talk about this for any longer than 20 seconds, but I was so excited to watch him, but now it's getting quite messy with what's going on off field. So it's another little hit to the Browns where I think they've missed 3 of the last 4 and they've had dramas like that. So I reckon someone will be getting fired at the Browns soon.
No doubt.
Let's go to the AFC South. This is super exciting. Again, we spoke about injuries.
Yes.
Joe Mixon looks like he's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, it's an interesting one right now. That's a big moment for the Texans that are a pivotal part to their offense. We saw what he was able to do last year. He fell away probably a little bit towards the back end, but geez, he came out on fire, and that's a big one for the Texans. I know. Look, we'll go with it. They've signed Nick Chubb. Again, it's iffy.
I feel like it's a comeback year for Nick Chubb.
I hope so, because the guy's a star.
But it's an absolute gem.
The guy's a star.
Talk fantasy. If Mixon's out and Chubb's really healthy, you're going to get Chubb deep in leagues, and he might be a bell cow. You might be able to they might rinse him on the goal line.
Couldn't agree more.
So he could be someone. If Mixon is out for a long time, and you're listening to this, and you want a little gem late in your fantasy draft, you're definitely taking a Nick Chubb.
No doubt. I just hope that they've made some really good additions to their O-line, because last year that was really what the difference was. Mixon couldn't get the ball going more than 3 yards or so, towards the back end of the year. CJ was getting pressured like there was no tomorrow, couldn't get rid of the ball quick enough, and their O-line just got battered and there just wasn't enough weapons for them there. So they've picked up a couple of players in Trent Brown and Cam Robertson. They are handy players for them. Hoping they kind of get that right, because if you've got Nick Chubb in the backfield and you've got Joe Mixon in the backfield, you want to be using them a fair bit, so you need a pretty decent O-line to get going. But that's a big one there. Christian Kirk's the other one that I find that they traded for a 7th-round pick. So
he's on a big contract.
If he can get back to what he's really, really good at and get back to his best there, that's a huge addition. Like, I really do like that. I still believe in CJ. I think he's a very talented quarterback. They've got other weapons there which are going to be pivotal for him, but Christian Kirk needs to be playing some of his best ball for the Texans to get going this year.
Yeah, Tank Dell obviously coming back from injury, and then obviously...
Well, that'd be interesting. We're still not sure even if he's going to be playing this year. That's the big...
But what I'm saying is Tank Dell, you're not sure, and then they've lost Stephon Diggs. There's going to be a lot of opportunity there with Nico Collins,
Obviously,
and then that's where Nick Chubb, you just...
Without a doubt.
There's going to be a lot of work coming his way, and if they're playing from... I think they've got the AFC South is huge.
They do. So, I still think they win the division because they're the most talented team. They should. If they stay healthy, they're going to be all right. The other one, obviously, defensive side is CJ Gardner-Johnson. He's a star, great safety, won the Super Bowl last year with the Eagles, got traded. And he just brings a bit of aura about his business and kind of gets the opposition. Again, he's another one that kind of gets under opposition's skin a little bit, and he's definitely another one that's quite talented there. And he's an aggressive player, looks to kind of pick off guys. So we know how good their defense is. I think the Texans' defense is quite strong. That addition is going to be very important for him too.
Yeah, it's important to note that they agreed to terms with Derek Stingley Jr. 3 years, $90 million. So they'll be really solid.
And the other one too, I probably might add, is Daniel Hunter. He's another one on the D line there, the edge rusher. Another extra year extension for $35 million on the D line there. He's a freaking good player.
Love it. Well, let's go to the Colts. Indianapolis Colts. It's all about Danny Dimes. I think he's winning the battle at quarterback.
He is winning the battle, isn't he?
I look at this and I think Ward from San Fran, he's signed a 3-year, $60 million deal, $35 million guaranteed. So you get a nice cornerback, a really nice cornerback.
Yeah, he's a good player.
They've always had a good O-line. So that's one thing that I'll talk about here. I like the fact that Mo Alley Cox re-signed as a big, strong tight end.
Khalil Herbert's the interesting one. Obviously, he was being with the Bears.
1 year deal at running back.
Deal, so that'll be the interesting one. Obviously, they've got JT. He's a star. But, Daniel Jones in that quarterback spot's going to be very interesting with Richardson.
I'm just looking at Cameron Byner, and I think he's signed a 4-year, $60 million deal at safety.
Yeah,
so
they've gone hard on defense.
They've spent a little bit of money on a couple of players. That'll be interesting to remember how good they're going when they run the ball.
No doubt.
I actually think, we'll talk about it, I think Daniel Jones has found a good spot.
You reckon?
I think there won't be much pressure on him there. Mate, I don't rate the quarterback they took. He turns over the ball.
Richardson's doesn't stay in the pocket long enough and just puts himself. He does, and he throws himself into situations that he doesn't need to. But
I think it's a good spot.
Their offense their offense have got some good, and their head coach in Shane Steichen is he's a very, very good offensive mind as well. So he knows what he's got there. Let's
move to the Jags. They were very disappointing last year, but Travis Hunter enters the building. He plays both sides of the ball. We'll talk about him when
interested to see what happens there moving forward. We can speak about that in a bit more detail later on, but that'll be interesting what they do.
What's the one play that stands out in free agency for you?
I'm not really too sure on the Jags right now. I'm not sold on a lot, to be honest. It's just I look at it right now and I go, you haven't kind of put any big names on paper. You've got rid of Christian Kirk. You haven't really added anyone. Evan Ingram's gone too. I'm not really too sure where you're at right now, and it's a very interesting year coming up, obviously for the Jags. What do you like?
Yeah, De'Ami Brown's the only one that I'm looking at. I'm going, well, he had a really good year last year at wide receiver there with the Commanders. He was just popping up and. He signs a $10 million deal for just 1 year. He knows it's a dine and dash, I reckon. He's 100%. Going, I'll just suss it out.
But Brown gets away with it because there's other firepower that the Washington Commanders had. Now he's going to have to go in there and kind of be a bigger role. And that's what I find interesting is can guys like that step up? I'm not sure. I hope so, but I'm not expecting too much from the Jags this year. I'm not going to lie. New head coach will be interesting, so I don't know how it's going to go there. Obviously has a good offensive mind as well. Was at the Bucks, offensive
Didn't
coordinator
start well,
last
did he?
year.
They were getting right into him.
Didn't start very well with our Duval, but we'll move on from that.
Duval. Oh wow. Well, let's get to the last. I mean, the AFC South. It's huge, isn't it?
It's just not great. It's not great. I mean,
get to the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
I want the Titans to be good because I want every excuse to get to Nashville. And I look at this and I think, it's a great place.
Jeez.
Tyler Lockett on a 1 year, $4 million. Now he stands out because he's been so good, but this is a real retirement home set up for Lockett, isn't it? Without being disrespectful, there's not a lot here. Obviously, they had the number 1 pick and they've got an amazing quarterback, so the future's bright.
Yeah.
But I think I saw a press conference with I think it was the head coach and the GM, and they asked him about the Super Bowl, and they both deer in the headlights. They didn't even respond. I went, "That's a terrible look."
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Man. They look at each other and go,
what? "Are we going to win it?"
He just asked us about the Super Bowl. Come on, man.
They're going to struggle. I think
media team, get your shit right.
They are going to struggle.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a long year for them, unfortunately. But hey, I think they know where they're at. Let's just kind of see what happens. Get a veteran guy on Tyler Lockett to maybe help out a little bit there and seniorize. And, maybe they might be able to steal a couple. We'll wait and see.
I like the fact that they've spent some money on the offensive tackle. Dan Moore Jr. signed a 4-year, $82 million deal. That's $50 million guarantee. Load the O-line up.
Got to protect your quarterback, don't you? You got the number 1 overall pick. You spend it on a quarterback. The last thing you want is him getting injured, and it's an absolute waste. So
I like that.
Go and protect him and get your O-line sorted.
Righto, let's have some fun now. The AFC West. This is challenging. And we start with your club. A man that you cursed. You sold me a lemon last year.
Do I go it again?
No,
Do I go it again?
He's ranked 60. I think he was ranked 64th top player in the league.
He's in the top 100 after his rookie year.
About Bo Nix. You told everyone last year.
I've laid that to bed. We move on with it. But now there's expectation, son. There is expectation like there's no tomorrow.
What about them?
They've got they've picked up some really good additions, haven't they? J.K. Dobbins in the running back position. I think that's a handy get for him. But Evan Ingram.
I can't believe Evan Ingram. He's on a 2-year, $23 million deal, and he's playing for the Broncos. I think it's a perfect match. It's a match made from heaven.
It's a very, very nice pickup for him. You need a big guy like that to be able to throw the ball to. He runs like a wide receiver, and they have definitely got a really important piece there on the offensive side. We know how good they are on defense, and they've added a couple of bits of firepower there on the defense too. So I will go into it obviously in more details, but the Broncos could be making a push this year.
Well, when we're talking about a push, we're talking about Kansas City Chiefs, the Raiders, and we're also talking about Los Angeles Chargers. Their head coach has a very good winning record. Mm-hmm. You're telling me that you're vibing the Broncos in the AFC West?
I am vibing the Broncos right now in the AFC West. I am. I think if you get Drew Greenlaw right, linebacker there that used to be at the the 49ers.
He did his Achilles in the Super Bowl.
And he did his Achilles, obviously, in the Super Bowl, but also Hufanga. If you get him right as well, he signed a 3-year deal, $45 million. Also, good safety there, also from the 49ers. No, that's dangerous. And we know who they've got already there on that side of the ball. It looks good.
I'm worried about the 49ers when I just keep reading all these superstars that have left. Now, they're probably more past when I say past it, they're probably on the later end.
They are.
You know what I mean? It's not the start of their career or the middle. It's probably coming to the closer to the end, if you know what I'm saying. They're still not old.
It's definitely an interesting part for those two players in particular with injuries. But, God, if you can get them right, I do really like the look of the Broncos.
Yeah, I do. I certainly. The only thing that can go wrong is at quarterback. Yeah. I just think, if he was to go down, the whole operations, you got.
It does make it tough.
You know what I mean? I know that's the case for everyone.
I think he's very durable, so I think that they're in a good spot.
They certainly are. Well, let's go to Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, these guys just continually, win. They win, and
don't they just?
At some stage you've got to lose, don't you? Unless it's a Tom Brady setup. But we're talking about a strong division. Now they've added in a little bit. They've got kind of so many players. Like I'll just read some names out, but. Running back additions, you got, we know they've already got Pacheco there, but you got Kareem Hunt, you got Elijah Mitchell. They're all 1-year deals for nothing. your wide receiver room. You still got your, Hollywood Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster, and then you're obviously going to get Rashee Rice back. Yeah. There's a few things off field going on, but they've got a wide spread, don't they? Like they've just got so many players that can. I don't know. They go for 20, 30 yards. There's no Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and you're going to roll in and an easy prop bet for the boys. Like it's so widespread. You never really know what Patrick Mahomes is going to do.
Very true.
The most important thing is Kelsey's back and Mahomes is there. Anything's possible.
That's right. I couldn't agree more. I think you've said it perfectly. I just think that they've got guys that are role players. Andy Reid loves that type of stuff. Anyone could pop up at any given time. Obviously Hollywood Brown had a pretty big injury last year and only kind of got back for the back end before being injured again. So maybe does he get back and find something? I think he definitely can. Because at his best, I still think he's a pretty good wide receiver. And then they've just kind of be able to just stock up around him and just get some little pieces there. But Trey Smith's obviously the big one, 4-year, $94 million deal, offensive lineman. So making sure that kind of Pat's still getting looked after and protected, which is still very important for him. Because if he does go down, then I do think that it's all over kind of Red Rover for him. But yeah, look, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, aren't they? They're going to find a way. This division's just got very interesting all of a sudden, and I'm really looking forward to the AFC West.
Let's just remember that the Chiefs All-Pro guard Joe Tooney, is that how you say his name?
Yeah,
he's obviously he's left, so there's a position that they're down one. But like you said, they tend to pay blokes and find other guys in positions. Mm-hmm. There's probably one other guy there. I want you to have a go at his last name, but he signed a 4-year, $93 million contract there at defensive end. Can you just give us a little go at Georgie's last name? Because I don't want to have a go at it.
Kaluftis.
Yeah, there you go. Put some money on defense. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, they have. Well, when you get 40 dropped on you in the Super Bowl, you're probably going to try and go to your defense a little bit, I reckon.
Certainly are. Well, there's 2 more teams remaining. Let's get to the Raiders. A lot to talk about. Head coach, new. We know Pete Carroll. He's a good man, and he's picked up Geno Smith, who he loves.
Yep.
He's also got a few others that he loves back in the door as well. But, I mean, I know we got free agency in front of us. Raheem Mostert signs a 1-year deal there for $2 million. He'll be able to just add some speed. But it's Juice Genty, this running back they picked up early in the draft. I know we're not meant to be getting too excited, but I just cannot. I've actually put up the Raiders hat behind me because he's going to be the guy that I just would do anything to pick up in this year's draft.
How can you not?
If you're listening, Harrow, remember last year when I picked up Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley? I'm telling you, just do anything to pick up Juice. This guy is a machine. And I've seen some videos of him at training camp catching balls as well.
And he loves running the ball too.
We know that Carroll loves to pound that rock.
Yeah.
Anything else?
The other one that has stood out for me that I really think could make an impact and hopefully get back to his best is Devin White. Unbelievable linebacker, won the Super Bowl with Tampa Bay Bucks. Obviously, he's been a bit in and out. Had the opportunity to be with the Eagles last year, didn't quite work out. But if he gets back, that's some serious firepower. And then Jeremy Chin, really, really good safety. 2-year deal worth $16 million. And he is a really, really important part for them. He's been really good at Carolina and some other places. And he's going to be important for him. So they've definitely added some key parts there.
We've hardly spoken about Geno Smith at quarterback.
I know. It's a big pickup. It's great for him, honestly. That's the area that they've struggled with for the last 3 or 4 years. Geno's come back and been really significant. We know that Pete Carroll loves him. It's going to be a good one, I think. I think they've finally got their quarterback. Can Geno deliver? I hope that he does. It just they have enough guys around him to be able to get it going from an offensive point of view. We'll wait to be seen. But obviously, he's got Bowers there. That's going to be huge for him. We know where they've got in the running back position with the young rookie, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Don't forget Jamal Adams' sign with the Raiders. He's a guy that Pete Carroll got across from the Jets to the Seahawks. He's moving him to the linebacker position. He used to be a safety.
Yeah, a bit of a hybrid.
Back to linebacker. He does blow up plays. You want to think about a guy busting up quarterbacks? Yeah. That's Jamal Adams at his best.
It might be good for him because he's not having to run as much, everything. He's a bit older, maybe put on a little bit more, not have to run as hard, but seriously, pop that line and it could be dangerous. So that's a good one to look out for sure.
Very loyal man, Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
All right, one more to go in
one
the AFC.
More. Chargers.
Just highlight what you like.
Look, it's all about Najee Harris.
But he's blown up his eyes.
Yeah, but it's all about Najee Harris. We'll see how it goes. But it's all about Najee Harris. Can the running back position, can he deliver? O-line solid. It's all about what he's going to be able to do. That's my opinion from the offensive side. Can he deliver? I haven't signed him for much. It's a great deal. It's a great deal for the Chargers. 1 year, 5.25, happy days. Can you deliver? Because if you make this your year, then you've seen what can happen with guys, Saquon, Henry. I'm not saying that type of deal, but I'm saying you can secure yourself a little bit if you go out there and get the job done.
Sanders is probably the best example of that. He goes to the Panthers on a bomb. He's not there anymore. We'll talk about where he is next when we get to the NFC. But you're spot on. But there's a concern though with this fireworks incident that he's, he might not be. They picked up that. Are we going to leave that in or are we going to take that out? That's the true form there from Sipp. He's actually let his guard down finally. 36 minutes in. He's really starting to let us know what he thinks. They picked up I'm pretty sure they picked up a running back in the first or second round in the draft. So it's a little bit of a watch this space. Yep. All right, well, that's all I've got for you. The biggest signing out of the AFC for you that you're looking forward to watching?
Oh, gee.
Come on, mate. Shoot from the hip.
Nah, Joe Bosa. I know we talk about offense and stuff like that, but I mean...
That's the one that stands out.
Mate, that's the one for me. It's the one.
I think the Steelers as a whole.
I'm joking. It's DK Metcalf, mate.
That's what I was going to say.
I love DK
I think DK Metcalf's going to have so many targets.
So big.
Like, you know how Devontae Adams just gets everything?
Yeah.
And Garrett Wilson's that off.
DK is going to be the same guy.
DK looks to be getting every target this year.
He will be. Can't wait.
Keep your eyes on that. All right, well, that's the first half of free agency and all the player movement in the AFC. If you like that, don't go anywhere because we're going to drop part 2, and that is the NFC. It's time to talk about Sipp's mob and the Giants, the Cowboys, you name it. Everyone in the NFC. It was very tight last year, so hang around, but that's all the player movement on the AFC. Jeez, it's good to be back.
Yes. America's Game is back, and with a fast design, last 5 stat performance, and NFL Bet Tracker, PointsBet's NFL experience is even better this season. Download the app today.
Imagine what you could be buying instead.